Alright, so we just got a little bit of Subroadbed done. I think in the last video we stopped somewhere over here. I didn't really explain much of this, but pretty self-explanatory, just cut a little S-curve there. And then west of the, well actually I showed you that we had this curve in here in the last video, but what we've completed so far is a Subroadbed on the drop bridge. This section in between the drop bridge and the curve, we've done the curve, and then this main portion out front, and this is actually just a 1x6 piece, and then I've actually started the curve down there, and we'll get to that in a little bit, but we've pretty much stopped right here. So I'm trying to think, what do we do over here? So this is the drop bridge. I think what we did, this is just a 1x4 on top, right? So yeah. I think we determined that the drop bridge itself was actually kind of at an incline. So all of these risers are actually just the same distance. We just cut them the same height, and then we screwed in from below with some longer screws, and then we just laid a 1x4 on top. You can see we've actually already got some cork in, but that'll be a separate video. It's just we're kind of working at multiple things at one time. And then one thing that I haven't explained really is how we're going to mount the scenery. So you can see, like over here we cut the riser pretty wide, so this is a 1x6, and you see there's overhang on either side. And what a lot of people do is have kind of like a 1x4 cross member, and then a narrow riser, and then they put like a T-piece across the top, so they basically create T-risers, and they use that overhang to mount the scenery. So this is what we're doing over here. That's why we created an overhang. And then down on this like narrow portion, I didn't explain this last video because I didn't get to it. You can see I've actually come back in and added a few 1x2 pieces across the under the Subroadbed, and that'll allow us to mount the fascia on the front, as well as put some scenery in. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else. This portion, as I said over here, is just a 1x6, and you can see there are risers underneath, but we still need to fill in a few risers. Like I'm gonna put one there, and they're kind of like offset every other. So I think that's where we're at right now, right? Yeah. You have anything else to add? What else? I mean, what did you do? I can't remember. I mean, we just put in the Subroadbed over here, so yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, and we'll have the cork and the track will be a separate video, but right now this is where we're stopped. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on the curve down there, and I'm gonna explain how that whole L girder deal down here works with the curve. So let me take a break. I'm going to work on this a little bit, and we'll get right back. Alright, so we're basically finished with the Subroadbed now. I can't remember where I left off just a second ago. I think I may or may not have put this little extension in here, but what we were contemplating is whether or not to have this little S-curve start back here or start a little further forward. So we just brought it a little further forward just to give us more level space here for industries and whatnot, but there's still plenty of space down in the curve for industries. Again, we just put a riser in. This one's actually mounted to the angled brace there. And then this was just, again, more recycled particle board that was free cut with the saber saw. We just joined these two pieces together with a board underneath. And that met up with the curve over here. What I actually did is I just first determined the curve height and then put this piece in because that would mean that the grade was just automatically set. So one thing that I haven't explained a lot is the peninsula, like the curve deal down here, and what we're doing with the design down here, because it was kind of confusing. But originally we had kind of this square frame, you can kind of see it still, that went that way, and that was actually an L girder frame, as you can see the L girder design right there. And then across it, towards the end, we had this another L girder piece going, so it was kind of like a square within a rectangle kind of deal. And then the reason we did that is because then we have this lip under here that we can mount kind of like radial pieces. So the end of this curve, you can see we have a bunch of cross members that are actually pretty short, and they're mounted on this L girder piece here, and then also on the L girder piece on the front, and that just kind of acts as kind of like a guide, and then it just opens up into the radius of the curve. So then we have plenty of support in here. And then in the middle we just have straight pieces going across, and that's just standard, standard framework design. Just the slats going across the L girder. They're screwed in from the bottom. I don't think I showed you that. So all these pieces are screwed in from the bottom on all the L girder pieces, and then we just mount these risers on them. And then this last one right here, or wait, no, right here is still going in. So we need to mount a couple risers on that. But if I step back, you can kind of see a little better what we did there. So just wanted to kind of explain that since I didn't really show the process of doing that too much. And then I think when I talked about it a while ago, it was probably a little confusing, but that was the design that we've done. So now these cross pieces, since they're actually measured out the correct amount from the center of the track here, these will mount as these will work as the mounting surface for the fascia when we put that on, and we'll just get a nice smooth curve going along here, and we'll be all set. So that's where we are with that. And then across here we have another big S curve. I'm not sure what we're going to do with the scenery here, but as Ryan talked about in the last video, or I can't remember if he did. We also did a video for BNSF rail fans, so I'm getting kind of confused on my videos here. But the scenery we might do is have kind of like a road underpass here, and then maybe it cuts back out here, and then it'll kind of parallel the tracks there. So this big S curve, originally we were going to have an underpass there, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work. So right about here we're going to have a turnout, and then we'll go to 2 tracks, and then head that way. And once again, I just put in standard risers on the cross members there every so often. I still need to put a couple more in here. As you can see, I don't have any there, but I'll be doing that. And then the next piece that we haven't finished is this big curved section that will eventually go through the wall. So I'm not sure if I'm going to include that in this video. I'm definitely going to get that done, but I might just throw that in an update video just because I want to get this out to you guys, since it's been a while since I said I was going to get this video done. So as you can see, we got most of the subroadbed done. Again, just simple construction that I've talked about before. It's just these risers. And there's still some places where what we'll need to do is come in with some like 1x2s underneath, and that'll create like a little overhang on the edge, and that'll allow us to mount the scenery. So I haven't done that in all places. There's still a few places to touch up. Like over here we have an overhang, but we don't really in here, so we're going to come in with some 1x2s, and that'll give us a mounting surface for the scenery. So still few more things to touch up, excuse me, as well as putting in this section. But that's all I have for you guys this time. Anyway, we're going to have plenty more videos. Actually, right now we're prepping for track work, so we're going to get some track in. Also going to have a video on doing the cork. We might bundle that in with laying the track. So thank you guys for watching again. We'll have update videos soon, as well as more construction videos, so stay tuned.